everybody. Welcome to the dungeon. My name is Robin, and today is Lampworking 101.70. I still have ornaments to make, and the last couple times I've made ornaments, it's been out of the borosilicate glass. And I have some special people that I want to make some soft glass ornaments for. So if you don't work in boro, don't worry. I hope that maybe this ornament that I'm going to make for you guys today out of the soft glass might help to inspire you to make some ornaments as well. And Patrick and I wanted to wish you a very happy holiday and a safe new year. We'll see you next time in the dungeon. So before I make these ornaments, I need a few pieces of cane for some design elements. And the first one I'm going to make is a veiled cane. And a veiled cane is just a white cane that I'm just heating up the tip a little bit, and I am just going to overlay the whole top of this color with a transparent, and I am using a dark violet here. So I'm just going to coat the whole bit of white in the transparent color, and you can make it as thick as you want. The color will be much more dense, or you can make it thinner so you have a lighter color. Either way, get the color over the end of the rod, and then you will just punty it up a little bit. Heat that whole wad up and very slowly go ahead and pull it out. You don't want this too thin, but you don't want it too thick either, like I always say. So just use the size cane that you feel most comfortable with. And there it is. We're using the violet here. And the next one I want to do is out of the Goldstone. Now I have a whole video for this, and you can check that out if you'd like. But if you just want a quick version, here it is. So what I have done is I have broken off a bit of the Goldstone and I've placed it in my annealer. And then I will get a little bit of clear on the end of a punty and go pick it up and very gently put it in the end of your flame, way out there, just so things start to heat up really nice and slow. And then I want to make sure it's nice and secure to my punty, and then I can go ahead and start to gently heat it up, melt it in, fold it down, and start to make my little gather out of it. The Goldstone can get kind of strange if you have it too close to the front part of your torch. You don't want to scorch it, or you'll end up having a lot of bubbles, and the cane might be really, really brittle. So be careful. And I'm going to roll this out into a nice little shape here. And then, like the first cane that I showed you guys, I'm going to coat this cane, or this little bit of Goldstone, in clear glass. I like to use Moretti Super Clear. For some reason, it just works great for me. I love this super clear, so that's what I use. And I'm just coating the whole bit nice and evenly with the clear here. And once I have that done, I will just heat it up and get that heat going down deeper into the glass, shape it up a little bit, and then I will go ahead and punty up the other side. And make sure you don't push that punty in too deep. That can happen really quick. So either way, you are going to heat the whole bundle up and gently go ahead and pull this out. Now, if you are using Goldstone and you notice that the cane is brittle, that is normal. It is just one of those things where, Goldstone is not really supposed to be compatible with our glass. So you have to use it in small amounts. All right, let's go ahead and start the ornament. So I start by instead of making loops right off of the ornament, sometimes I like to start out with a small clear bead. And I will just wrap a little bit of clear on top of a mandrel. And I want to make sure it's nice and even on both sides, just with the one wrap. So this is a good way to practice making these little tiny beads. And I will go ahead and put that in the oven. And make sure that when you put it in your annealer, you have as much of that rod, the stainless steel rod, sticking out of your annealer because you want to grab that again later on. And while it's hanging out in the annealer, I will go ahead and start the ornament with a nice big bundle of clear. So I spend quite a bit of time just heating up this big, massive glob of glass. And once I have the amount that I like, I will flatten it down with the graphite paddle. And if I feel like it needs to be a little bit bigger, I will use the mini mashers as well. The hardest part right here is really just keeping everything nice and even on the end of the glass rod. And I work everything off the glass rod here. So the first thing I want to do is in the center, I decided I would put a nice twisted cane of black and white and run it right down the middle from the top all the way to the bottom of that little disc. And then on either side of that, I'm going to start using the veiled cane. And here it is with a aqua blue on top of the white, which is super beautiful. And next to that, I thought it would be nice to have kind of a standout color. So I'm using a red, and this is just a red stringer. No clear on it at all. And then next to that, I will add another veiled cane that I have it's a ruby on this, like a cranberry pink. Another really beautiful color. Beautiful color. And if you have all of your little bits of veiled cane in different sizes, that's also fun too. Give you that nice variety that you want in your ornament. So here I am putting on that violet that we did at the beginning of the demo. And now what I want to do is just pull everything together to a point at the bottom. So I will use just a bit of a clear stringer and heat the edge where I want all of the pattern to go to. And I'll do that on the bottom and on the top of this ornament. It's just nice to see everything come together there. And then I'm going to spend a little bit of time heating everything up while maintaining that flat shape. And then I'll give it another press. Just to flatten things out. It's not completely flat, so you might get some bubbles when you add the clear, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just heat the clear up and start by adding a swipe of clear on the very edge, and then I'll start to work my way down and overlap as I go. When it comes to working off of a clear rod, when I added that little wrap of clear around that rod there, that kind of ended up making it want to crack. You'll see that in a second here. There it is, a little crack there. So, the key here is never to heat up that clear rod or it will start to crack. So be careful when you do this. Okay, so now that we have my color in there and it's nice and sandwiched in between these clear coats, I can punty it up and then I will take off that whole top. It looks a little sloppy, but I promise you things will work out here in the end. So I'm going to pull that end off and then go ahead and heat everything up again. And don't let it round out too much. You just want to heat it up, flatten it out one more time. And there's my final shape on this one. And if I want it a little rounder, I will use a knife to kind of shape up the sides. And then I'll go ahead and use the Goldstone stringer to add a nice, right here, I am just fire polishing. That's super important. You want to fire polish. And then once you have that done, I am going to add the Goldstone stringer to kind of put an edge around the whole ornament. And again, be careful when you use the Goldstone. I try to very gently use it in the flame. And once I have one side done, I'll just shape it up a little bit. You know, it's not easy. I can't see very well. So my Goldstone stringer line is not straight. That's okay. These are all handmade. It's just like the charm of it all. So there I am, getting a little sloppy, but it all works out in the end. especially when you can shape it up with your butter knife and make it look better. Okay, so now that I am finished with this ornament, I need to put it on my hook. Now, you can make a hook off of this in clear if you would like, but if you want to use the method I'm using, just punty up the bottom with a little bit of clear, and it's okay if it's a hard, or a soft punny or a hard punny. You're going to heat that up and melt it off later. But now I have very quickly, like crazy quick, grabbed the end of my mandrel, dipped the other end in water, and then placed the clear bead in the flame, and then add it together to my ornament. This is fast. Pop it off and go ahead, and that's it for this ornament. But yet there's more. I have an alternate ending for you guys. That looks so cute. Okay, so let me show you how to stretch that out a little bit and make a slightly different ornament shape. Okay, so we're back here. I'm doing a different one. We're going to punty this up. And again, I will grab the bead that's in the oven and then immediately heat the other side of the mandrel in water, or you will burn yourself, so be careful. And as soon as I have that done, I will heat up the, ooh, wait, hang on just a second. This is where things get slightly different. Okay, so in order to make this shape a little different and make it longer, I'll just heat the bottom half. And it's so beautiful because you can pull this out into any length. I just want to pull it out a little bit so it has the shape of a teardrop. And that is such a gorgeous shape, you guys. You can even give it a very slight twist if you'd like. But either way, let me get back to putting it on the bead. So what I want to do here is, I want to punny it up, but it doesn't work out. And things just fall, and don't panic when this happens. Just relax, try to break off that clear. I get frustrated, so I'm trying to break it off. And it comes off. And then I will go ahead, dip the end of the mandrel in the water now, heat the bead up. If it cracks, just keep heating it up until it softens up again, and throw that ornament on there until it's nice and sets up for a second, and then heat up your ornament so it doesn't break. I know it's a little stressful, but I'm sure you guys can do a better job than me. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed these ornaments. And on that note, we will see you all next time in the dungeon.